afternoon, Year 4. It's Mrs. Cafrello here with your PSHE lesson for Wednesday, the 20th of January. So first of all, I want you to have a little think about what we did last time in PSHE. At the start of the new year, for our first PSHE lesson, can you remember what we did? Okay, we were looking at hopes and dreams, and we were thinking about New Year's resolutions, something that we want to achieve or something that we want to happen this year. And we were thinking about dreams for the future, thinking about what we want to be when we grow up. What do you want to achieve in your lifetime? Okay, so we're moving on from that today. So we're going to be thinking about today what happens when our dreams or ideas don't always go to plan. So what happens if something goes wrong and we feel disappointed? Okay, so have a think about a time when you've been disappointed by something and how it feels. Okay, have a look at these pictures of the children at the bottom. How do you think they feel? What do you think that they're disappointed about? So I'm going to show you some scenarios now. Okay, so this is Emma and Oliver, and their parents told them that they could get a new puppy. Okay, but the owner of the flat that they live in has said that they're not allowed to have a puppy in their flat. Okay, so they've been promised a puppy by their mum and dad, but then the landlord of the flat that they live in has said that they're not allowed to have one. Okay, so how might it feel to Emma and Oliver to be promised something and then told that actually they can't have that? How do you think that they might feel? What might they do when they're feeling that way? How do you think they might react? What will they do? And what could they do to overcome the situation, to make themselves feel better or to come up with a solution? So I want you to have a little think about those questions. How do they feel? What they might do when they're feeling that way, and how they can overcome the situation. So you can tell your grown-up or jot down some ideas. You might want to pause the video now before we go on to the next scenario. So this is the next scenario. Issa thought that he would be selected for the school football team, but he finds out that he is only the reserve. Okay, so he thought that the coach was going to pick him to be on the school's football team, but he's only been selected to be a reserve. That means that he will only play for the team if they need him, if one of the other players is poorly or gets injured. Okay, so he's not on the main team. How do you think it might feel for Issa thinking that he's going to be on the football team, but then finding out that actually he's not? Do you think that he's going to feel disappointed? How else might he feel? What might Issa do when he's feeling that way? He might be feeling upset and angry. How might he react if he's feeling that way? And when he's calmed down and thought about the situation, what might he do to overcome that? Is there anybody that he could talk to about how he's feeling? Do you think he could speak to his football coach to see if there's any possibility that he could maybe change his mind? Okay, so for this scenario, just have a little think about those questions again. How will Issa feel? What might he do when he's feeling that way? And is there anything that he could do or anyone that he could talk to overcome that situation? And the last scenario that I want you to have a think about today is this one. Okay, so Jacob finds out that he is not going to be in the same class as his friends next year. So the school are moving the classes around, and Jacob has found out that he's not going to be with any of his friends next year. Imagine how Jacob feels after having a whole year or even longer of being in the same class with the same people. then he's going to be in a different class away from his friends. Okay, have a think about how Jacob will feel. Have a think about what he might do when he's feeling that way. How might he react? What sort of feelings might he have inside his body? And how could Jacob overcome the situation? What could he do to find a positive in this situation? Are there any positives? What could he do to change the situation? Is there anybody that he could talk to so that they understand and maybe make a change, maybe move him into the class to be with his friends? Is there any chance that that might happen? So have a think about the same 3 questions. How will Jacob feel? What might he do when he's feeling that way? And what can he do to overcome the situation? So you can tell your grown-up or make some notes. So now I want you to think about a time when something didn't go to plan for you. So something that you felt disappointed about. How did you feel when you were disappointed? What had disappointed you? How did you react when you felt that way? And did you do anything to overcome that situation? To make a change, to make things better? Okay, I'm going to tell you about a time when I felt disappointed. Me and my family wanted to move into a new house, and we'd gone to look at it and we fell in love with it straight away. My children were getting excited and they could see which bedrooms they wanted to have for themselves, and we pictured ourselves living there. So we rang the estate agent and we told them that we wanted to buy the house. And then we all sat and talked about it, and we got our hopes up, and we're thinking, how might we decorate it? We could paint the living room this colour, we could paint your bedroom this colour. We were thinking about it and planning for the future. But then the estate agent rang and told us that somebody else wanted the house, and they were going to be paying more money for the house than us. And we didn't have any more money. We were already using all our money to buy that house. So they gave it and sold it to the people who had a little bit more money than us. And we felt really disappointed, really upset, because we'd put our hopes and dreams into that house. We'd already started planning it. But then what we did to overcome the situation was we went and looked at some other houses, okay? And we found a house that was even better and slightly cheaper than the house that we wanted to buy. It was bigger as well. It had an extra bedroom. So we bought the new house, and we live in that house today, and it is the best thing that happened. So looking back, although we felt very disappointed and upset and a little bit angry at the estate agents and the people with the more money than us, it turns out that actually we overcame that. We did something different to change the situation. We bought a different house, and we've ended up happier than ever. So I want you to have a little think about something that you felt disappointed by. Did you really want to get a new toy, but you couldn't get it, you didn't have enough money? Or it could be something else, something at school. Something happened at school where you got in trouble for something that wasn't necessarily your fault, and that let you down, made you feel disappointed. So have a think, and what I want you to do today is get your sheet that's in your pack, and you're going to write a description of what it means to be disappointed, okay? How it feels to be let down. Then you're going to write about a time that you have felt disappointed. What did you do about it? What emotions do you experience when you feel disappointed? And what can you do when you feel this way? Is there somebody you can talk to? Is there somebody's mind that you might be able to change to help you out? Okay, so that's your task today. You're going to fill that out and then bring it back to school on Friday so we can have a look at them. Good luck, Year 4.